Bundaberg Regional Council acknowledges the traditional country of the Tarrabalang Bunda, Gurang, and Baili peoples, and recognises that this country has always been and continues to be of cultural, spiritual, social and economic significance to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We recognise the thousands of generations of continuous culture that have shaped this country and the people on it. We pay respects to elders past and present. Bundaberg Regional Council further acknowledges other neighbouring traditional owner groups within the Wide Bay Burnett region. The Bundaberg coastline is famous for its nesting turtle population. Every year, hundreds come to lay their eggs along these sandy shores. The annual Milbi Festival is a celebration of the turtles coming back to the safety of our coastline and the local Indigenous culture that's intertwined with their journey. During October and November of each year, the festival hosts a range of events that showcase our connection to these sea animals and the people heavily involved in their survival. The G'dadjal Land and Sea Ranges are vital in caring for country and protecting the habitat of the turtles. They're part of a broader Queensland Indigenous Land and Sea Ranger program and share a special connection with the Bunyas Mountains Murray Ranges through a sacred songline along the Burnett River. A stream that feeds into the Burnett River starts in these mountains, and countless generations of Indigenous people travelled along the route from source to sea, making the most of available resources.
So people would converge on the Bunyas triannually. Message sticks would go out and also smoking signals, and people generally knew the time they'd send the delegates from hundreds of kilometres to represent their mob, to partake in ceremony, to share in the bunya, to trade resources, to arrange marriage and dispute resolutions. People have known to travel from the coast all the way southwest to Borona fish traps, and that's what's amazing about the Bunyas, the gatherings. Everybody, all the mobs that would converge have their own Bunya story. Although we're traditional owners, they also share in the same story.
Well, the whole mountain in general is really significant. You know, it was a big meeting place for all these mobs. You know, for thousands of years, coming up here to share ceremony, share law, and song and dance. I think the Grassland Balls in particular hold a lot of significance as they were managed by our old people with cultural fire. So I think it's very special to be able to continue that and doing what our old people used to do. The Bunya Mountains being one of those places that was a sharing place, I think a lot of mobs had a lot of connection up here, and being on this country for the last sort of 4 years and doing good work on this country, I've grown to really love it. The beautiful bunya trees, that are around us right now, they're very important trees and they're like family heirlooms to some mobs, so I think just the significance of these trees and how much they would give, made it a very special place.
And what's important about this stream is that, like, our ancestors in that followed the song lines with the water in that, like followed the water and everything. And like this river system goes all the way to the South Burnett, through there, and then it goes all the way up to Bundy and out to like the ocean and that. When they were going places, they would find the rivers and everything, because the rivers have like water source and like food and everything. So like basically leaving here, they would have just followed wherever the rivers went.
As part of the 2022 Milbi Festival, that same route was travelled by a contemporary message stick, crafted by the Bunya Mountains Murray Ranges to symbolise the connection shared with the G'dadjal Land and Sea Ranges.
Culture is important to pass on, hand down to younger generations. Just having that self-identity, I believe it's really important. Like we've got the elder fellas teaching the young ones traditional dances, and hopefully that passes on to their kids and grandkids and so on. But yeah, it's very important to pass that knowledge on about culture and be proud of that culture.
A message stick is a method of communication, passing on stories, pathways and knowledge between tribes.
A message stick is simply what it sounds like, so it's a way of communicating. So back in the day, mob would send a message stick to, notify of meetings, etc. So it's basically putting a message on the stick and delivering. So I came up with a design of the significance of the turtle, so the journey of the turtle, and I've got on the other side of the message stick is the journey from the Bunyas down to Bundaberg. Traditionally, over the thousands of years, the Bunya Mountains was a significant gathering ground for all southeast Queensland, parts of North Queensland and northern New South Wales. They'd gather at the Bunya Mountains for the Bunya Feast, which is roughly around every 3 years. So the timber I decided to use is she oak or casuarina. There's different types of species, but they're mainly found in waterways. The reason I chose it was I thought it'd be ideal since turtles in the ocean, and not only that, the waterways leading up to the Bunyas is pretty significant as well. And like casuarinas are mostly found in the waterways along to those places.
The message stick travelled from the Bunya Mountains through to Banban Springs, a significant stop on the journey to the sea as a source of fresh water. It then made its way into the Bundaberg region in time for the beginning of Milbi Festival.
So we'll be heading through Banban Springs. That was a significant area as well, so we'll be trying to stick to the songlines as close as we can, but obviously travelling on the road. So songlines, like I was saying, it could be a story that's handed down for future generations, but it's also like when you are travelling, it's noticing like a significant hill or mountain or a tree that would be marked. So like there is a traditional initiation site that's over near Toowoomba. So when mobs would meet, they would have, so their yuri would be like a totem, and turtle would signify mobs that are travelled from the ocean.
The Bunya Mountains Murray Rangers attended the Milbi Festival Sunset launch, a celebration of our turtles, the Milbi, and passed this sacred message stick onto the Gaddarjul Land and Sea Rangers.
Many of the message stick that I collected from the journey, what they did from the Bunya Mountains all the way to the Bundaberg area for the Milbi Festival. Our first person who made the message stick, we met him first. He showed us what he carved in. He carved into like a little footprint type style message stick. Told us a little story and journey about the turtles' journey, and they just shared what they did to us, and then we just shared what we did with them, just like a little swap and trade type stories.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we continue delivery of the message stick to keep that culture alive and delivering it to the, I believe it's Gaddarjul Rangers down there. Pretty significant, like the kinship that we have back in the day and now, especially Indigenous Rangers, and sharing of knowledge, culture and art as well.
It was a historic moment, representing a journey from the Bunyas to the beach and encapsulating the strong songline shared by the Rangers and their passion for country.
So our current role, so we undertake NRM projects, so natural resource management projects across the whole PCCC, so ranging from the north up there in Gladstone, Port Alma, all the way down here to the Burren River. So those NRM projects, they encompass, water quality management, which is water quality sampling, inshore coral for the rangers, feral animal, so pest and weeds. So. And then there's a whole lot of revegetation works as well that we do, marine debris cleanups. So there's a whole lot of diverse work that the Gaddarjul Land and Sea Ranger program covers. So and it's all about caring for the environment and doing our best as traditional owners to take care of our Mother Earth. It's a special feeling to actually have a say and then to be undertaking works out on the ground. But not only that, it's for me when I'm working with younger generation. So younger people out on the country, and then passing on my knowledge, what I've gained in the position, and showing them what is important and how they can become connected back to country and their culture through caring for our land and sea. So it's very rewarding. It means a lot. It's more than it means more sometimes than words can describe. It's a really, really good feeling, and because we're culturally connected to our country, that's our deep connection, and our, through our culture and our songlines. So it's really important that we keep on carrying on this work, not only for ourselves but for our next generation that's coming up, and really reinforcing that love and passion, not only for culture but for land and country too. So.
The dedication of these ranger groups will ensure the protection of sacred lands from source to sea for generations to come.